That's me facing off against Lasha Jeladze, the current heavyweight sumo champion of the world. He's 6'2", 342 pounds. I'm 5'6", 175 pounds after stuffing myself, and I never ever thought I would be doing this. Stick around because today, not only am I going up against Lasha, I'm also going up against the national champion in my weight class, and Josh Beam, a BJJ purple belt, and one of the most active competitors in the world. Your favorite martial arts YouTuber and our American heavyweight national champion, Sensei Seth, is gonna give us a crash course in sumo and coach us through this tournament. Someone's getting knocked out, a grown man is gonna cry, and this is gonna be a chaotic introduction to an absolutely wild and exciting sport. You see, 2 weeks before this, my friend Josh Beam had a crazy idea to sign up for a sumo tournament with no experience, and I had the equally crazy idea to join it. I'm a movement teacher, which means I teach people how to move more skillfully in and outside of any discipline. One of the things I was taught is that leaders should lead from the front, and that the greatest test of a mover is to be good at the things you've never practiced before. So I, never having done sumo before, should be good at sumo. Sumo is one of the oldest martial arts in existence, with its history dating back over 2,000 years. And we're gonna be competing in front of the Consulate General of Japan. We don't wanna disgrace this rich heritage or lose, so we do our best to get whatever practice in that we can and learn the Chirichozu, an important opening ritual from Seth. He also gives a lot of great advice and makes a prediction of which one of us would win if we face off. Seth had to cut some weight, but Josh and I are nearly 20 pounds below the weight limit for lightweight, so we chow down before bed in an attempt to gain a few more pounds. And before you know it, it's time to compete. We get to the competition where we meet Lucas. See, at some competitive martial arts schools, they don't let you record the training because they don't want their competitors to be able to see what they're practicing. If you know what your opponent's strengths and weaknesses are, it's a huge competitive advantage. So they'd rather disallow recording entirely than risk leaking a critical weakness before a competition. Josh, on the other hand, has been live streaming all of his training sessions prior to the tournament. And Lucas tells us that not only will he have Josh first round, he's spotted a tactical weakness from watching his training videos. See, there's 3 ways you can win in sumo. 1, you make them touch the floor with anything other than the bottom of their feet. 2, you make them touch down outside of the circle, called a doyo. Or 3, you carry them outside of the doyo with complete control of their body. Once someone is moving backwards, it's relatively easy to keep them moving backwards. So in sumo, the initial charge where the wrestlers come into contact, called the tachi-ai, is a huge determinant of who wins and loses. Lucas has realized...
I didn't see you practicing any tachi-ai. Maybe you did, but on your live trainings, so I'm like, maybe it was just...
Oh, you watched the live trainings. Oh, shit.
And he's come to the Consulate Cup ready to capitalize on it. He's been practicing sumo for a year, but his family also ran a karate school. So he's a black belt that's grown up doing Shotokan karate, and he's also dabbled in MMA, Wushu, and Aikido. But I'm up first against Nick Hooper from Kurawashi Sumo. I get a great tachi-ai here, but I'm not used to these belt grips. And just as I think I've won, Nick uses my belt to pull me over. I try to twist in the air rather than stepping out, but the ref calls it for Nick. But a corner ref saw something. My fancy twisting maneuver, which my eco people know is a product of self-organization within the constraints of the task environment and performer, actually worked. They called for a rematch. This time, I'm adjusting strategies. I'm gonna try to grapple this guy down rather than risk getting tossed at the edge again. Get his legs and feel like I have total control, but he doesn't go down easy. So I take him to the edge, and I'm able to force him to step out before we both go down. I get the win here, and I'm on to round 2. But Seth roasts me for this one.
You get here, and then you're like, not good enough. All you had to do was take one full step. So you throw him to the inside, back to where he's safe. And then you're like, double leg. You pick him up again, and then you're like, oh, where was I? Was over there. He wanted to go out over there. Now I'm coming back over here. Now, okay, look, you get him to the edge, and then you stop. And you're like, this feels dangerous. So then you put your back to the Tawara, and then decide you're gonna go for a 360 no-scope throw, where Lucky he stepped out first. He does touch it anyway.
Yeah, he did touch it.
But boy, you made it close. You took him he was on the Velocicoaster at Universal.
Next, Josh takes on Lucas. BJJ purple belt with no sumo experience versus second-degree karate black belt with 1 year of sumo training. They have a great match, and Josh hits a beautiful snap down to win by the skin of his teeth. Hunter beats Carlos, and I'm now in round 2. I'm up against the national champion in this weight class, Edo. This man's an artist, and the dojo is his canvas. Paint by numbers, but I give him my best death stare before the match. He times the start command well, so I start on the defensive, and once he gets belt grips, I can't stop the throw out of bounds. I lost.
So he hits you with a hard tachi and then goes for a collar tie. He hits you with a rotation. You do a pretty good job of staying in it. You try to rotate back, which I like.
Yeah.
You do a pretty good job of it. And then Ed rotates you one more time.
Yeah.
He's very good at this. This is just hard.
Yeah.
I like how you tried to stay in for as long as you could, though. It was still a pretty good match. Ed's tough.
Yeah.
Ed has beaten me like that plenty of times. He's like lifted and rotated me, and I'm like,
Jesus.
yeah.
But thankfully, this is double elimination. So now I just have to work my way up from the loser's bracket. Josh gives up a loss to save the life of a small but skilled teenager. Dylan beats Hunter. Noah throws Jacob for the win. And next, I'm up against Eros Gal. In real martial arts, you quickly learn that you have to respect every opponent as someone that can beat you. But I won this one, thank God. Now, Josh is up against Carlos. If either of us loses again, we're eliminated. Josh pulls through with a nice carry out at the edge. Lucas hits a beautiful inside trip to eliminate Hunter. Jacob eliminates Nick Hooper. And next, it's me versus Josh. Josh is one of the most active BJJ competitors and was ranked #1 in the world at Blue Belt. He won his divisions in the Asian Championships, 3 Masters Internationals, gold at Pans, and placed 3rd at Worlds this year as a purple belt. He's got 7 years of Muay Thai experience, 1 year of Judo, and is incredibly athletic. But there's another problem even before we go together. See, Seth told us that when in doubt, we should just copy the Chirichozu of our opponent. He never thought we would go against each other.
You two absolute dinkwads trying to copy each other.
Yeah,
the Chirichozu.
I'm trying to copy you?
Yeah, and he's trying to copy you. You guys are you guys are stealing math problems out of the idiot in the back of class. You guys both missed the clap. Watch this right here. Watch him miss his clap.
This is a high stakes match because if Josh beats me here, this highlight is probably gonna live forever on his rapidly growing YouTube channel.
They're having they're enjoying their tournament for sure. But one of their quests for lightweight ends today. Oh, Josh jumps to the side, but he gets that good head position, and Bren throws him down.
Fortunately, I feel an opening when I push him back and then snap him down to victory. Once I post my Ecological Dynamics documentary, I'll be making a new docu-series on how I achieved this crushing 4-second victory over the legendary Josh Bean and sealed his demise, both eliminating him from the tournament and causing great psychological damage. Subscribe so you don't miss it.
You did try to Henke. You go straight for the collar tie. You got the underhook. Great head positioning. And then you know what happens. You do go for the belt here.
Yeah, but I didn't have it. I didn't have it.
I'm gone.
Look
at let's see that again.
Yeah, you're going to have to rewind it because you're better with this
Oh,
than
the
I am.
batteries are dying.
Oh no, everything's dying at once. So actually what's really slick that you did here is you cut off his swim knowing he didn't have the belt yet and then yanked on this same swimming arm, got out of the way, you pulled that right foot out of the way, and you sent him into a stripper pose.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I did that on purpose. I actually took the fall. I
You did what Georgia did.
Yeah, I was like, we're training partners. It'd be a bad look if it's on my YouTube channel and I beat my own teammate. How did this actually happen though?
You just didn't have any grips.
Yeah, I didn't have a grip. And
So you don't have
and you
grips
have a
here.
belt grip on your
I
left
have-
side, right?
yeah.
And he feels you swimming underneath, which means you want a better position.
Yeah.
And you're about to lean that left arm in.
And I'm moving to my left. He's
And-
moving to his left.
And as
Third
you do
plan.
it,
Yeah.
you start to push back in.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's like,
Yeah, I'm pushing in to get the.
yeah. You're trying to hop on the cruise, but it's already left the harbor, baby. It's out of there.
Yeah, thank God I wasn't good enough for him to be able to just like double leg me all over the fucking.
100%.
Because that was the
100%.
only other thing you know how to do is just pick people up 12 times.
You went from missing your hand clap to
Doing one of the sickest
a
snap downs.
nasty snap down.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Good sumo.
Bad sumo.
Now that Josh is out, I'm the only one left who can bring home a sumo medal for the jiu-jitsu guys out there. Lucas takes out Jacob. Edo takes out our teenage friend Lil Ben. Dylan takes out Noah with some tough hand fighting. Lucas manages to outmaneuver Ben and eliminates him in the turn. I've got Noah next.
Noah versus Bren. In they go. Noah's got good position, but yeah, Bren is able to defend well. Oh, they go for a spin at the edge. I think Bren took it.
And I manage a nice clean victory. Noah is eliminated. Next is Lucas. Winner here will get at least a bronze medal. Loser goes home with nothing. Lucas is a new dad, and he's been on a tear, winning 3 matches in a row after his first loss to Josh.
Okay, Bren comes in nice and hard, gets the better of Lucas at the beginning. Lucas goes for a throw. Oh, I think Lucas took it. That was a very close one, but yeah, right at the edge, that fight to make your opponent touch down first it comes down to that experience.
I feel very confident and an advantage in physicality from the start here, but Lucas was ready for that and manages to maneuver me into an Uchimata at the dojo. I'm eliminated from the tournament, 4th place in the division of 12. Edo beats Dylan and takes first, and Dylan beats Lucas to take second. Lucas gets third. But my hamstring is feeling good so far. Everyone at the tournament is super supportive, and some guy keeps telling Seth that if I actually did sumo, I'd be top 3 at nationals easy. I'm inspired by this little girl who fought a whole division of boys way bigger than her, rather than taking home a gold medal in her empty division. I make a wild decision and sign up for the open class with Josh, who's a verified wild man. And we learn that headbutts are legal in sumo. The open class is single elimination, so if we lose once, it's over. Josh is up first, and in my opinion, this was his best match of the whole day. Striking with an open hand here is called Subari, and Seth told us to avoid it as it's too advanced for us to learn so quickly. Josh gets headbutted, but that only gets him in the zone, and he starts the Subari Tsunami. It's a beautiful snapdown of his own for the win against a much bigger opponent. My first match in the open class is a rematch with Lucas. He outplayed me last time, but now I know he's dangerous on the edges, and I'm not going to take any chances. I get the single leg, and I use it to drive Lucas out. You know the game Chicken? Like 2 people driving towards each other and the first one to turn away loses? As I've said in sumo, whoever touches the floor first loses. This occasionally creates games of chicken, where the first player who touches the floor to protect themselves or their partner loses. So as I push Lucas out, he holds on and we're both locked together. But we're on a plastic tarp with a 1/2-inch mat between us and a hard tennis court. So even though I managed to post at the last second, I still come down with my forearm on his throat, and I feel his head bounce off the mat. Not fucking good. I was emotionally prepared for an aggressive version of patty cake, not a freaking kumite from Bloodsport. Thankfully, Lucas comes too quickly. He's a tough son of a gun, and soon he's back up and the trainer on staff is taking care of it. This is not how I wanted to win. This is horrible. I wasn't prepared for it. I go off in the corner and cry. Lucas seems mostly fine, but I was just talking to him and his wife earlier, and they're both super kind people. This fucking sucks. In 8 years of BJJ, I've never seen an injury like this, let alone caused one. and I've always prided myself on being a safe training partner for anyone. Some people get into martial arts because they love fighting. That was never me. I fell in love with martial arts for the challenge, strategy, and mutual betterment that it provides. This is the worst of what I never wanted in the first place. But since I won, I'm still in the tournament. Any minute they could call my name and I'll have to go up again. I need to balance my empathy for Lucas right now, settle my emotions, and get back in the game. I have Sai next. He's a middleweight that just beat the silver medalist in my weight class, and he's much bigger than me with a few years of judo experience. Seth and Josh are worried about me after my last match with Lucas. They know I'm grappling with some emotions and think I might have a slow start here. Seeing how much bigger Sai is, I think I'm gonna lose as well. But I'm not going down easy. I come out hard.
Ooh, Sai, good, with the control. Middleweight versus a lightweight.
Hit some maneuvering and I get the push out. That's for Lucas.
Middleweight versus a lightweight. First tournament for both.
Oh, Sai.
Great job. Great job from Trapzilla with one of the most defined backs in the sumo tournament.
For real, what's his lat pull down?
Now I'm in the quarterfinals of the open class. But my next opponent is Lasha, a 340-pound Georgian beast who I later learned just won the heavyweight sumo world championships. Josh comes up to me, he looks me dead in the face, and he says, "Hey, you can win this." That's a real friend right there. You see, Josh is a seasoned competitor. He knows, as crazy as that match may look on paper, the underdog, which is obviously me here, only has a chance if they haven't already given up. If I want to have a chance of winning, I need to act like I have a chance of winning. And I need to go all out here, hold nothing back. Now, how can I beat Lasha? Even if I could get to his legs, there's no way I'm going to be able to pick him up. I can't throw him even if I get to a great position because of my hamstring. So my only chance is to use his weight and inertia against him and somehow outmaneuver him into a push out like I did with Sai, or a snap down like I did with Josh. The snap down doesn't seem likely. So the only question becomes, do I try to immediately step around him using a move called the henka and hope he overcommits to the first movement? Or do I attack right away and hope he leaves some opening later? But there's another problem. I've never done a henka before against anyone half his size. I decide not to commit to the initial henka and pray that I'm not gonna get crushed under a 340-pound man on a tennis court. The match starts. He throws a small feint towards my head that throws me off. It doesn't look like much, but it feels like a sledgehammer is coming towards my head in slow motion, but then never lands. Then he gets some momentum, and once he gets some momentum, it's like I'm being rolled over by the boulder from Indiana Jones. I don't find any chance to get my feet under me, and he moves slow enough that he isn't overcommitted to any one direction, and I can't get around him either. Not even close. He pushes me right out of bounds like a pesky bug. But our coach, Seth, is still in, and he's been looking amazing the whole day so far, already winning the medium heavy division. Badri, the other enormous international sumo competitor, takes out Edo. Seth takes out Jay Scriven and moves on to the semifinals against Badri. They have a tough match, but Badri again has an enormous weight advantage and is able to win the match. Then Lasha and Badri close out, much to the dismay of the audience. So Seth won first in a medium heavy, third in the open, and won the most technical award. I won 6 matches, which was good enough for 4th in the lightweight division and a tie for 5th in the open. Josh took 8th in the lightweight division and absolutely crushed it, winning 4 matches with incredible finesse, given no sumo experience whatsoever. But there's one last thing we have to do before we take off these mawashis. See, earlier I challenged one of the judges to an exhibition match. He's 420 pounds, which is 75 pounds more than me and Josh put together. But before we get set up, Justin, the organizer, challenges me, and Edo challenges Josh. Justin is a very legit sumo wrestler himself, and runs his own sumo club, Dark Circle Sumo, in Texas. Justin does a really good job of using head position to beat me, and he shows me how he does that.
What's your strategy to beat Josh?
I'm just gonna let him do whatever. He doesn't do sumo, so I'm just gonna let him make a mistake and capitalize.
I kind of heard some of the words. I don't know what he said. I feel like he was talking shit.
I'm gonna actually try to take him to the edge and hip throw him. I'm gonna try to hit a hip throw.
Okay. I know, what was his mistake?
You can't do anything without the bow. If we're sitting here hand fighting, right, you can get something maybe like long grab or leg grab. Or like but if I have this, I have to grab this. This is like the equalizer. You need to do it against you.
Sonny needs to know.
Yeah.
Ben beats Josh and I each easily.
So we gotta attack both sides. You go for one leg, I go for the other leg. Oh wait, I think his leg is hurt. Let's see. I'll go one side of the bar. You go the other side of the bar.
Okay.
We control.
We just need to angle.
Yeah, let's just get an arm. You go to the right, I go to the left. We'll just each get an arm.
Okay, push him out.
They want to know what your strategy is.
I'm gonna win and kick their asses by doing it. One hand on each. Split the man.
But then we team up and we're able to push him out. 4 legs are better than 2. Overall, I think sumo is a very interesting sport that more people should try. I felt that strength and power were very helpful, much more so than in grappling or wrestling. And it tracks that one of the stories of how sumo was invented was by an emperor who wanted to test who was the strongest. Weight, of course, was important, but not so important as you might expect. Both Josh and I were both able to beat some opponents who were significantly bigger than we were, even without any sumo experience. One aspect that I loved about sumo was how important it was to control the space. In BJJ, we pretty much entirely ignore that and just reset if we go out of bounds or hit a wall, and it feels like we're removing a fairly important aspect of martial arts by doing that. So it was really great that sumo emphasized it so heavily. It felt like an awesome new challenge. Overall, sumo was shockingly fun and exciting. Both Josh and I agreed that this was the most fun competition we had ever done, and it was very exciting to watch. Lucas got checked out by a doctor later, and he's totally fine, thank God, and he's starting his own sumo club in Texas. I do think having thicker mats or a softer surface of some kind would be really important to prevent future injuries like this, even in local competitions. Justin did a great job of organizing the whole tournament and working hard to grow the sport of sumo. Also, I had a really fantastic weekend with Josh and Seth. I'm gonna pee myself. Shout out to both those guys. Both their channels are linked in the bio. Seth did a great job of coaching and cornering us, which was super kind of him. And if you want to hear the whole story from Josh's perspective, he has a whole video about it here.
Go King. What do we say? What is it? It's a Gen Z. Go off King.
Go off King.
Go off King. Yeah, the kids will like that.
Yeah.
Subscribe if you want more videos like this, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And maybe give sumo a try. All you need is a circle and a friend. Just try not to land too hard on top of each other.